I'll keep going on actually using my former solution, actually the one we used in an early age. To keep going on, actually, I'm going to generate a new page. This one I don't need for now because I generated earlier. So I'm going to add a new item, which is a web form without any delays. I'm going to rename it to Preloader 2, or let's say, yes, Preloader 2. Great. Here it is. Again, we don't need any form for now since it's an ASP page, an ASPX page. So only we need this page, sorry, this content here, the div only, and this div will play actually the role of the main, let's say, circle, body, things like that. I moved to split mode in order to have visualization here. But since I have this line here, I'm gonna save it. Yes, everything is fine now. I come back here. So as we did, and without delaying, I'm going to give actually a class here for this div. I choose it from the list. I'm going to give it a user-defined name, so I'm going to give it a preloader. This preloader here will be utilized. This user-defined name. It will be utilized for controlling this div, this entity. I'll come back to my here header part now. As a per title, I'm going to say here preloader circular preloader, something like that. So in small here. Right. I come back here and I generate my style tag. I choose the type of this one. I'm gonna choose it also. It's text CSS. I choose it. Okay, close and get a space here, or one line of space. I'm gonna call this preloader here class to give it anything here. Actually, it's not saved. I'm gonna save to see if there's any effect. Nothing is visible. When I click here, the div is visible. Yes, but it's not having any impact to me. So I'm not able to see any means any effect. Let's say. What does it do? So I have to be aware of what it do, something like that. It's not what it do, how it looks like. So I come back here. The preload is the same here. I'm gonna call it later on. So class, as we said earlier, so the class, it is to be pointed with a point dot. So I'm calling the class. What is the name of the class? It's preloader. Here it is, preloader, the same name, yeah. And a scope, curly braces. And between here we give actually whatever we want. We start by designing actually this let's say preloader by giving him actually some colors, background, or let's say borders or something like that. So let's start by doing something actually here, giving him a border. A border color. I'm going to give a border color. Here it is. I'm going to say, first of all, for the border color, there is an option which is to give us the chance to give the width of the border. I'm going to say 15 pixels. The color, it would be actually the dashed. Let's say dashed. Dashed. I believe dashed. Yes, we'll see later on. And it would be actually what color? I'm going to choose green, or let's say black, something like that. So the color, semicolon. I save to see if there is any impact here, any effect. It's not having any impact because of this. I'm going to change this one to solid to see it's solid. Yes, save. Still, I'm not having any impact here. Border color, I'm going to just run to visualize if there is any. If it's running very fine so far. Okay, good. So I come back here and I continue my my process. Actually, the first thing to do after this border color, I come back here and I give a height, because since it works fine, width and height. Okay, this is the height I'm going to give. For example, 10 or 100, or let's say whatever. Here I'm going to give 200, something like that. 200 what? Pixels. And the width, the same thing. I'm going to give, not windows, it's width. Yes, I'm going to give the same thing to make it square like. Yes. Save. Here it, yes, it gets a little bit actually more visible to us now. More pixels here. Save. Great. So here it is. Here it is clearly seen here now. It's clearly seen, but it's not without the color. But even though. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one to see if it goes with this Visual Studio. Yeah, here, better. It works here with the Visual Studio. The property is border only, so fine. Both are okay. Okay. More than that, I need the thing to be actually in a circular mode. We saw last class how to make the dots to be circular. What was the option? It was border radius. Border. Let's say here radius. I choose it from the list, and I'm gonna say here, for example, percent, and we will see 50% as value. Save. It's not having any impact. Last class, the same thing. It did not happen in the impact, but when we test, yes, it's perfectly shown the thing as a circle. This is the way. This is how it looks like. Great. So we keep going on. We keep going on. Let's now give the highest, the top. Let's say, or actually, we're going to. Let me change it to a dashed view. Let me change to a dashed view. Yes. Refresh. See here. It looks like something like dots, something like that. Okay, good, good. We'll use this one so far. I come back to my work here now. Great. So we changed the thing to dash to give us actually this dotted architecture. What we'll do now, actually, we will move to the next step, which is to make this preloader looks like something to move later on by giving one of the borders different color. Means here, for example, I'm going to choose the top border to be in different color. Let me come back here. CSS, our control, top border, top. Let's say border. Border top color. Here it appears. I choose it. Okay, I'm gonna say here gold. Okay, gold view. Let me save. Here it is. Yeah, it has the impact now. Yeah, it works fine. Good. Now let's position this preloader to be in the middle of the page, center and middle. What I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna put this preloader inside another div, something like that, in order to be able to put it in center of the page and control it. So I'll come back here. I'll not need this space here. Before this div, I'm going to create another div. Right, and this div would hold this preloader here. This div, I'm going to give it a different class. I'm going to give it the name, for example, box, something like that. So the box will have this preloader inside. Okay, let's give a control to this box to make this one appear in the center of the page and then the middle, left and center, left, right, and top, bottom also, both sides. So let's tackle this box class. Come back here in the style box class. So dot, then box, the name, scope here. Okay, in between here, I'm going to say here text align. Sorry, text align. I'm going to say center. Colon. Margin top. I'm going to give margin top also. Margin top. I'm going to say here, for example, 25%. That's it. I'm going to save now. I'm going to save. Something like that. Test the line center and the 25. Let me test and visualize the thing. It is not showing the thing in center. It is only shown in middle, top, bottom. So what should we do now? Let's come back and let's I'm going to change the option. I'm not going to use the this text here. Sorry. this text align. I'm going to use items, place. No, leave it. Leave it later on. Maybe when we run it will we see actually the issue was this text align center, no more no less. Then let me just visualize it to you in view. Yeah, here it shows the thing actually. It is in the middle of the page, top, bottom, yes, but it is not showing it actually in center of the page, left, right. We'll fix that. Just we'll fix that now. Let's come back. So display grid, I'm gonna just I'm gonna try to tackle something here, not here. It's here. Display in a grid. So to make the thing actually in a grid, to be able, yes, grid here is the one, to be able to control the page content. Not needed for that one. Yes, and place the items here. I'm gonna just place. I'm gonna say items. I'm gonna say here center. He's not giving me the options, maybe because of this Visual Studio interface. Let me just run the thing now. Yes, it works very fine now. Now I'm able to see the thing actually in a very clear way in the center of the page. Here is the view. Good. Now we'll talk about the animation. Now our role now is to solve the problem of making this preloader move around turns again and again and again in an infinite mode to be looking like actually a preloader. Let's come back. Okay. To do so, actually, as usual, we'll refer to the keyframes here. Plus, we finished from this one here. We can do something else actually before we do that. I'm going to control the body. I'm going to control the body interface to give it actually different background color or something like that. We may give actually different control. So it's optional, but actually, as per the guide you have, we have an example. The thing to be given to the body. So maybe I can give a background color. It's enough only to give a background color. So I'm going to say here body, yeah, only, and I'm going to say background. I'm going to say any color here, for example, beige. Save. Here it is. The color has been changed. The background color has been changed. It's good. It's good. It's adequate. You make sure the color you like. Now we come to the next of the animation here. At the end of this style, before the closing of the style tag, I'm going to call the keyframes, and I'm going to generate a preloader. It's usually defined here, and in between here, I'm going to give actually some actions. In my actually request here, the request we need here is a transformation again, like we did the transformation. Yes, and it is not visible. See, it's transform. It's not visible to me. Why? Because this animation, it would be happening within a percentage, within an angle. So I'm going to say when the load has been loaded to 0%, 0%, we're going to do something. And when 100%, we will do another thing, and things like that. So let me come back here. It's 100% here, 100%, yes. And here, it is a transformation. See, it happened. Now it appeared. Now I can choose it. And the transformation is to rotate. Rotate. This is the one. It's a rotation. And the rotation will be actually at the 0, it's 0%. The level of the rotation is 0 degree. Sorry. Deg. I'm going to choose deg. At the level of 0%, the rotation is 0. It's on top. The yellow part has to be here in this position. When we make 100%, also it is to transform this shape, and the transformation still it is a rotate only, rotate, and the rotation has to be 360, means a full turn. So 360 degrees. Like semicolon. That's good. Okay, I can say. But will we have any impact? Absolutely not, because we did not link this animation here. It is visible to me, yes, but we are not having any impact. Great. So we come to the last part, which is to make a link in between this animation we set here and this preloader. To do so, I'm going to add an option to this preloader here, another one, which is an animation. Animation. Okay, what is the animation? Is this preloader here? Is this one here? So preloader. Let's say preloader. Yes. Preloader. It will take actually one turn. It will take, for example, 1 second or 1.5 seconds. It is a linear one. It has to take actually this context. It will be centered based on the center point, linear, and how many infinite times. Okay, save. And now let's test. Right click, view in browser. Okay, I'm gonna change the view for you, and it works very fine. Yes, here it is. Yes, it is loaded, and the speed here actually of this movement here, the speed of the movement here, it is because I chosen 1.5 seconds. You may modify that. You may modify the colors. You may modify the background color, position, and things like that. The size of this preloader, the circle. So you may do it the way you like, as per the design. I'm stopping the record, and then I'm sharing it with you.